Hi and welcome back. My name is Emily Hessler. Today I'm going to use a stamp set from Trinity Stamps called Magical Wizards. And I'm going to create my own pattern paper. And inside of the card I'm going to do a small pop-up effect. I think you could take this idea and make a lot of different, make it so it fits your needs, and you can make it a lot of different ways. And I've seen many examples of this online, and if you search on it you probably will find more suiting videos. But I really like this technique and I think it's so much fun to do. To start off, I picked a couple of the smaller images in this stamp set and mounted them on top of my acrylic blocks, and I mounted them on both sides so I can quickly stamp out my pattern without having to take all of my stamps off. And you can see here that I am placing them randomly out, and I'm trying to keep the same space between all of the stamps. In some cases there was a little bit of a bigger gap, and you will see that I go in with a smaller stamp in those areas and just fill in the pattern. And I'm doing that in the end. You will see here soon, because you will not be needing to sit through while I'm stamping out the whole panel here, that I just testing it out, making sure that I like how it turned out. For my panel here I'm using Nina Desert Storm cardstock, and this is the 80-pound version of that particular paper. And I like how this craft toned paper looked against these more magical elements on this card. So here you can see how it turned out. And I will also mention that I used VersaFine Onyx Black when I did this, and that is one of my absolute favorite inks to work with. And you can see that I already had colored in the boy here that I'm gonna call Harry Potter, and I also used a die from Trinity Stamp, and I'm trying out how I want to assemble this card. And I decided that I didn't want Harry Potter to be on the outside. I will actually have him as a pop-up on the inside. But before I do that, I actually took and created my whole sentiment here. So it's gonna say sending magic to you. And I think this card you can use anytime, maybe as an encouragement card to some friends, or actually you could use this as a birthday card too, I think, if you really wanted to. But I like the message, and I like how this die cut turned out against these smaller sentiments that I just heat embossed onto the black paper. So anyway, this was how I decided to assemble my front, and you will see that I will go in with some a glossy accent on top of the magic, just to make that stand out against the rest of the sentiment and the pattern paper a little bit more. And I also really like that I used a white paper for the shadow of the script, just to make it contrast a little bit more with the background and the black strips with the heat embossed sentiment on too. So moving on, here I'm gonna create my mechanism for the pop-up effect. And as you can see, I went over this strip of paper and marking, or actually scoring, every half of an inch. And for the end part here that was a little bit longer, I just created it to be, I think it was 1/4 of an inch. And then I'm gonna adhere it together after fumbling a little bit with it so it can close easy. I'm just gonna use some liquid glue here. This one is from Nuvo. And then the mechanism is done, and you can see how Harry Potter is gonna stand on this. And I'm just gonna glue him to the bottom of this. And then I'm gonna open my card up and then I'm gonna adhere it to both sides, and then I'm gonna press it down, and you can see here how Harry Potter stands out. And I wanted to fill in this scene a little bit more, so I just die cut a couple of trees from another die set from Trinity Stamps, and I'm just gonna place them down on the front of the card, if you can say so, and then will be in the background of Harry Potter. And if you had time and wanted to, you could actually expand on this idea a lot to create exactly the type of scene that you want. I hope you liked this card and got inspired and wanted to create something similar for yourself. I really like how this turned out, and I especially like the front of this card. And I will link all the products that I used in the description box down below, and I'll be back soon with a new card. And until next time, have a great day. Bye!